Hi, it's Kamon Reynolds. So let's talk Apivar. This is a product that many of us avoid, and I'm not saying you have to use it. Far be it from that. There's other ways you can go about this. However, if you're wanting to use it, there's a few things you may need to know. And when you're a new beekeeper, honestly, there's so many opinions out there. It's hard to figure out what to do. And there is no treatment that works just perfectly every time, and not in my experience. We produce a lot of mites here, so maybe up north where you produce less mites, maybe it's a little bit easier. I have no idea. I know your winters probably aren't easier, so we all have our crosses to bear and all that kind of stuff. But so this is a chemical treatment, hence the gloves. Now, chemical is kind of a word that we like to throw around a lot because everything's a chemical. This is a man-made chemical. This is basically what a lot of guys call smart chemicals, because this is designed, this strip, to target the mites. Now, one of the problems with using strips like this is the way that they work. They don't physically harm the mite. They don't just burn them like formic acid and all those other types do, oxalic acid. This actually, I believe, goes in and messes with them, maybe like proteins or something like that. I can't remember. It's scientific-y stuff. Anyways, what we do need to know is that you don't need to be touching this stuff because it's not good for you to get in your skin, and you definitely don't want to use this while you have honey supers on. It is a long-term kill as the bees rub against this small amounts of the amitraz, which is the active ingredient in this product Apivar, will get on the bees, and as it touches the mites, it will kill them. But there's a few things that, like with any products, that you need to know. One of the nicest things about this product is it does like nothing to your bees at all. Nothing that we can tell anyways. I've used it before. A lot of beekeepers use this product. It doesn't slow brood down. It doesn't disrupt the queen. It doesn't do any of that. It just kills mites. Now, I don't believe this is effective by itself. Like, if you use this enough and correctly, you would get a good kill, but we need to kill mites a lot here in Tennessee. I need 90% reductions, in my opinion, to have good clean bees coming out of winter. So I don't want to use Apivar as my only treatment, and actually most of my hives are not getting these strips. But I'm trying to show you guys how it works and all that kind of stuff. So the nice thing is, again, it's very gentle on the bees. Formic, Apiguard, especially Apiguard and Formic, if you use them at the wrong time of the years, can be devastating to your bees. Especially here in Tennessee. Goodness, I have the Formic Pro that I bought a while back, but I can't do a trial on it. It's too stinking hot. It's been too hot since late April, and here we are in September. It's going to be too hot probably for the next 2 or 3 weeks, and by that time, if I hadn't treated my bees, they're toast. They're not going through winter good, if they go through at all. So you have to watch out for that. Now, this Apivar strip right here, one of the things that you need to know is that bees can develop resistance to these kind of bees. Mites can develop resistance to these type of chemicals, so you need to be following the label. Don't leave these in the hive for more than like 56 days. That's what we're going to be doing on this colony right here. By the way, we washed on the alcohol wash about a week or so ago a 4 on the, so that's about a 1.33% infestation. That's not bad. We want to keep it low though, and now's the time to do it. The bees are bringing a lot of natural stuff. They're really healthy. The mite levels are low. Let's keep them low. So we're going to be throwing 2 of these down in this bottom brood chamber. All of the brood has already been put down into here. And this product right here, if you're looking for them, you can get them like any bee supply. But if you're wanting, we got a link below. You can check them out and all that kind of stuff. So let's get into this colony. We're also going to show you another thing or two that you need to watch out for putting these strips in. We're just going to dive right back down into this next box. Now, I was in here just recently. The queen's in the bottom box. Now, there's a small chance that she could have gone up. Oh, goodness. They've got plenty of nectar in there. But the chance is really small. I've pretty much stuck all the brood down below. And we're going to put this excluder on top, and that way the treatment's going to be more effective, because those strips need to be as close to the brood as possible, because that's where the mites are going. They're going right back into that brood to reproduce as much as possible, so they need to be right there. Now, you're supposed to have a minimum of goodness, I can't remember if it's 1 or 2 frame space between them. Ideally, if you have a good healthy colony, like say you have 5 frames of bees, say you've got a nuke here, and it's just this wide, then you want to stick the strip either right here or right here. So for a nucleus colony, you just use 1 strip. For a colony that's like this, that's just a single, and all the brood's down here, you use 2 strips. Now if there's brood up in top and below, you've got to use more strips than that, and that's why I stuck all the brood down in here. There's no brood in these 2 frames, and there's no brood in that frame, so all the brood frames are between here and here. So we are going to stick this one here, and then we're going to stick this one over here. And that way as the bees rub against it, it's going to be killing mites for us. Now, you can put it in without nails. You stick these tabs out, and you just stick them down in there. I don't like doing it this way. I'm going to show you why. Alright. For one, this sticks up a lot. Plus, the way that it's designed, it bends outward, and so a lot of that strip goes against the frame that's to the left of this strip and touches it with that plastic. So that impregnated amatraz is not getting on those bees as they rub up against it because they can't get to that. Plus, if there's brood down there or anything else, they're going to have to chew around that to create proper bee space and be able to get around it. So they'll mess up your combs is basically what I'm saying. So these aren't the best nails for it. This is all I had. It'd be better to have a bigger nail. So we're going to be using these. Put that tab back into place. And now it's not bowing out like that anymore. So now the strip is more straight. It's definitely, and plus it's not sticking up so high. So we've got that one right there. Now let's do this next one. Again, mites can develop resistance to these kind of things. That's why using more natural treatments is better if you can develop a regime with that. But as a new beekeeper, ultimately, you need to learn a lot. You've got a lot to learn. There's a lot of just new things and nuances, and ultimately, it's hard to do that when you're losing your bees. So I recommend doing your best to keep your bees alive. And again, if it's fall and you need to treat, I really hate using Formic and Apivar and stuff late in the year, especially if you're later than me. You can use it right now, but if we kill brood or we slow down brood, those bees can help us with our big winter clusters that we need for colonies that come out thriving. This is not going to slow the brood rearing down. In my opinion, I've never seen any type of slowdown with this product whatsoever. Again, I don't trust this product to fully take care of the mites. I don't trust any of them. If you watch our OAV video, oxalic acid vapor, you'll realize that 5 rounds in 21 days doesn't work quite as good as we thought it did. And that's why a lot of the professional beekeepers don't use that. It's not worth your time. Now, for those of us who are smaller and hobbyists, it can be worth your time. But you can't just trust that, oh, this guy, Kamon Reynolds, he says 5 treatments is going to work. Yes, that's what I'm going to do. And then you lose colonies because you listen to some idiot on YouTube. Those things are risky. The alcohol wash really helps alleviate the worrying during winter because you know exactly where you stand and you can take action. Now, I have not seen where it is illegal to do so, where you have Apivar strips in here and you do oxalic acid vapor at the same time. So I don't know if that's legal for you. It might even vary from state to state, and then there's other people from other countries. So watch out for that. I definitely don't want you guys doing anything illegal, but I think a great strategy if you're going to use the Apivar, because mites can develop resistance to these kind of things, is to do a combination of this with oxalic acid vapor or some other treatment. You don't have to do it at the same time. I think it would be awesome to drop a few rounds of oxalic acid vapor during this treatment. Again, I don't even know if that's legal for you. It might not be, so don't do that if it is illegal. But even if you have to wait till this is done, maybe do some oxalic acid right before you put these in and right after you take them out, whatever. Of course, your alcohol wash is going to clear up any doubts that you may have and let you know if you actually do need to use it or not. So again, there's a lot of variables here. Ultimately, One of the most important things, unfortunately, we have to fool with every day is the varroa mites. Now, some people will tell you that it's a lot easier than that and you can get away by doing some simple stuff. That's fantastic. It does not work for me. And I have tried it, more than likely. And we're going to be trying some more of that stuff next year. I'm not against trying new things, but ultimately, if it's based on hearsay, I can't risk my business on that. No way. I've tried that before. It hurts. And you know, Jimmy eats a lot of food. We can't risk that again. I go bankrupt on that boy. But anyways, this is Apivar right here. It's really simple. It's gentle on the bees. It's not disruptive. I do think, just like all of them, it needs probably a little bit of help, and you ultimately have to know if it works or not. You could stick 5 of those things in here and still your mite levels be too high. You don't know until you've done a wash, an alcohol wash or something else. I wish I could tell you that you could use the powdered sugar rolls and get accurate counts. They have not been as accurate as the ones I've done side by side with the alcohol wash. So maybe if you plan on adding an extra 30 to 50%, I don't know. Ultimately, kill those mites. Great queens, dead mites, good nutrition. Thanks for watching our videos.